So let me start a notepad. Uh, I hope my notepad is also visible. Okay, there's some issue. Fine, I'm sharing my screen again. I believe now it should be visible, right? So what we'll do in the next 30 minutes is I'm just, listing down the agenda on what all we'll be learning, what we'll go through. So this is Microsoft Power Platform. We'll be getting to know more about it, what it is, what are its use cases, um, what are its business applications. So the agenda would be what is Power Platforms, Power Platform use case. Then we'll jump into Power Platform components. Then inside that component, we have Power Apps as one of the components. So we'll go through Power Apps, we'll go through Power Automate a bit and use cases. Then we'll get into the business logic and use cases of Power Platforms. And then we'll get into the architecture. Understood, guys? So this is on a high level the agenda for today's session. Again, this session would be for 30 minutes today. Starting tomorrow, it will be a 1 hour session, which would be a hands-on session. Um, and I'll be, giving you all the details by the course of the next 30 minutes. All right, so first we'll get into what is Power Platform and what are Power Apps, right? So Power Platform is basically a suite of applications, connectors, and data sources which are useful to create solutions, automate some workflows, and then analyze data. So you would know for any business to thrive, we would need a solution in place. We would need something which would automate that business process. So their Power Platform is used. You would obviously think there are existing, traditional tech stacks which we use, like Node.js, we use Python, we use Java for backend, for front end, we have various other, libraries and frameworks like Angular and React. Why would anyone come and use Power Platform? Right. So I'll be explaining every like all the agenda items bit by bit, but in order for you to go through the agenda again, we will be giving you an overview of Microsoft Power Platform, the intro to the Power Platform components, the business applications or the solutions which are there at present for Power Platform. We'll be giving you an introduction to Power Apps, the features, benefits of Power Apps. Then we'll jump onto the architecture of the whole Power Platform, some use cases, scenarios, and then the licensing, and then the Q&A sessions. So, as I mentioned, Power Platform is basically a connector, a suite of applications which is used in order to solve any business problem. Now, there are majorly four components of Power Platforms. We have Power Apps, we have Power Automate, we have Power BI, we have Power Virtual Agents. I believe most of you would have heard about Power BI. It's an business analytics tool, business intelligence tool as we speak. But yeah, it is also used for ETL, as in like data engineering, for running some queries, getting out some data insights, or even for data cleaning, right? It is used for all of these places. So, in order for us to understand why Power Platform is useful, we first have to understand what is a business, right? So, let's take an example of Amazon or Flipkart or Meesho, anything. Can you guys tell me what business does these companies cater to? What is their business source?
E-commerce.
Exactly. So it's e-commerce, they sell retail stuff. So these companies comes under these two domains, either e-commerce or the retail stuff. Now we have ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, and others. What does it come under?
Banking sector.
Banking.
Banking and financial services, BFS domain as we speak. So that is their business which they do. We have Swiggy, Zomato. This comes under food delivery. And so and so and so. We have multiple such companies with their specific domains or businesses. Now, in order to function for any of their logic, they would need something, right? Where they can cater to multiple people. So we have that in place. Sorry, Yuvraj, you want to say something? Okay. Yeah. So in order to cater to all these businesses, they would need some applications. They would need some websites in place, right? That is how they will um, you know process. So for all these solutions, what do we require? We need some apps or we need some business solutions. So what are those business solutions? We have we have apps, we have websites, we have data analytics tools, we have data servers. So majorly any company would have any of these business solutions with them. Swiggy, Zomato, Amazon, Flipkart, they are all having their apps, they are all having their websites, they are also having their analytics tools for their internal teams. They have their servers where they store all their data, right? Now, in order to get into the apps, what are the components of it? We have, first of all, front-end components. What it does, it deals with user, right? What do you mean by front end? Anything which is visible to the user, anything which deals with user, anything which interacts with user. All right. Then we would have data sources. What is your data source? It is nothing but anything which is useful for the business to operate. Let's take the example of Swiggy or Zomato. What is important to them? User profile data? Yes or no? They would understand what this user is like, what this user likes, veg, non-veg, Jan food, different types of foods. Then you would have order details, what kind of order any particular person is doing. You would need the amounts of the order, like how much they have ordered, and the amount associated with that. The transactions, it can be coupons, it can be some discounts. Uh, all these things are your data sources. Then we have automations, right? So automation, what exactly is automation? Anything, any manual job which can be automated comes and falls under the place of automations. So here we have emails automation, we have messages automations, we have promotions if you want to run any campaign, push notifications. These are all automations. And one of the most important fuel nowadays is basically your data. So the people, those who are working in those companies, they would obviously need to do some data analysis, right? They would need to generate some reports. They will have to share those reports to the stakeholders. They will have to visualize those reports, right? So these are the major apps which are used. Understood? Now we'll come back to the component. So you would have a high level idea right now what Power Apps are used for. It is basically a low code app development tool. So you don't need to write tons and tons of lines of codes to even develop a single function. You can do that with just dragging and dropping. That is what Power Apps enables you to. Power Automate is basically a workflow automation tool, which means let's say you will have to send you have developed an app and now you want to send a login OTP, or you want to send some messages to some particular person. There you will have to automate this feature, and Power Automate is your savior. Power BI, as I spoke earlier, it is basically a business intelligence and analytics tool, which is also helped for data insights. It is mostly used internally. Our virtual agents, AI powered chatbots. So nowadays, if you would have seen, there are multiple chatbots, ramming around all the mobile apps, websites. People, those who are building those chatbots, there are two types. One is they're writing, thousands of lines of code and then building one chatbot. And there are people, smart people, those who are coming and using our virtual agents from the Power Platform, and they are making AI powered chatbots. Let's say for you to make a particular chatbot, it would take, if you go by traditional methods, it would take you 1 month or 2 months. But here with virtual agents, you can make a particular chatbot with all your parameter tuning, everything within, at max, I would say 1 week. So you feel the difference, right?
Yes.
So I would also, walk through this like all the companies, those who are using power platforms right now. Toyota, if you would have known, it's a big automotive giant. They use power platform to streamline their workflows, improve their productivity, and to gain some operation agility. So they use Power Automate in most of their apps, internal apps. IKEA, your furniture, a giant furniture, company, they use Power Platform to streamline workflows. P&G, again an FMCG company, Evergy, Microsoft, since Microsoft is the creator of Power Platform, they obviously use it to, streamline their revenue processing, and in various other segments, they use Power Platforms. Now, it's not only companies. There's a whole department of education of UK. They use Power Platform. Specifically, they like all their apps, if you check, it's built on Power Apps. Accenture, NetBank, Caterpillar, these are also some of the other companies, those who use Power Platform. I've not mentioned here TCS, Infosys, Capgemini, Cognizant, all these companies also use Power Platforms. You would have seen Power Platform, Power Platform developer, Power Platform consultant, all these uh, are, generating a lot of buzz nowadays. So I showed you this, right? Like there's a four-step process for any business application. You have front-end components, front-end applications, which is your apps, websites. You have data sources, you have automations, you have data analysis. So, and I'll be sharing this notepad and class notes after the call, after this session. Anyways, so there are some key features of Power Apps, like how do we use it? It's a drag and drop interface. If you would have ever come across Canva or other, design making uh, applications, it's pretty similar to that. You would, literally drag and drop functionalities from your panel, and then your whole logic or your whole application would be built. There are pre-built templates to kickstart the development process with. Like, let's say you want to make a survey application. There is a pre-built template for you to start with. You would just have to, input your parameters, or in simple terms, your values, what you want the user to provide, all those things, and then your application would be ready. It will be done within 2 days. It has integration to Microsoft 365, SharePoint, SQL, and various other data sources. So you don't have to think about where do I host my data, where do I keep my data. You don't have to think about all those things. Mobile and web publishing within a few clicks, like you can always, so let's say you have now built an application within 2 to 3 days. You would have to take it online, right? How would you do that? You can do that within a few clicks. You don't have to, sit and understand the whole DevOps process or the whole deployment process, which usually someone does when they use a traditional programming language. That you don't have to do here. You have built-in AI and automation features like AI Builder, Power Automate, and lots of other features are there as well. Now, why would anyone use Power Apps? What are the benefits of it? Can you mute your mic, Vicky? There's some noise coming. All right, thank you. Yeah, so what are the benefits of using Power Apps? It enables you to do any application into a fast development phase and then deploy it. It empowers non-technical users to create solutions. Now, let's say you are into some other domain, or you have come across, like you have come from a non-tech background, you want to get into a technical background. Uh, it's time consuming and it's stressful to learn a particular language. It takes you months to first learn it, then it will take decades to master it, and then you can build some solutions. And you are always dependent on other sources for your solutioning. But here what happens, it empowers you to create any solutions from the scratch. You don't need to know any particular language, you don't need to know anything. You can just come, take the application, and then host it online. Let's suppose you have a brilliant idea which you want to incorporate, which you want to take it live. You don't have to wait and hire a developer or develop yourself. Rather than that, you can sit calm, and then within few weeks or few days, you can build that particular logic with an application, and then you can host it out. It decreases the reliance on IT for simple app requirements. For one simple function or one logic, in traditional programming, you will have to write minimum 20 lines of code. Here, with just few clicks, you are set. It offers you seamless integration with Microsoft ecosystem. I don't have to mention this, but Microsoft is known for its security. Is known for its immense suite of applications. Now, if let's say you are using Power Apps, you will have access and you can integrate this with any other Microsoft service or any other application. It allows automation of routine business process. Let's say you want to make a small to-do application. Let's say you want to make a small clock application or any such thing. This is your go-to tool for that. And it's not like you are using this for only small, uh, functions or small applications. It enables you for bigger complex solutions as well. Okay. So there are basically two types of Power Apps. One is Canvas apps, one is model-driven apps. Now, what happens in Canvas apps, you have full control over app layout and design starting from a blank canvas. Like I told you earlier, you have predefined templates, right? That won't work for Canvas apps. That helps you with model-driven apps. So data-driven apps, which are built from predefined models and business processes, like I gave you an example of a survey application, an HR tool, and reminder, a to-do item, a to-do task app. All these are examples of your model-driven apps. Let's say you want to build something from scratch. You have a brilliant idea and you want to build something. At that point of time, you will have to use Canvas apps. Again, these are very high level. You don't have to worry at all. You will be learning all both these type of Power Apps throughout this course. Now, let me give you an architecture overview. So if you look right into this, this would look a bit hazy, or it's too overwhelming to see too many data points here, right? But I will guide you through each and every step here. If you just follow my cursor over here, we have this Power Apps portal, which is event management or landing page. Now, let's say you have a friend who came up with an idea to start an event management company, right? So in order to help him grow, you will have to make an event management application. That application will have some landing pages, as in like what is landing page? Anything which is basically the home page of an application is your landing page. Event management is basically a functionality which will come inside the landing page. There will be multiple, functionalities inside that portal, which will cater to various other services or sources. Now, this is your application. All right, Power Apps portal. Now, here, what you can do, you can develop multiple other pages as well for your sales, for your marketing. Let's say you want to enable email marketing, you want to enable event management, you want to enable campaign automation or campaign marketing, you want to enable lead scoring. For all these, you can have different pages. Similarly, for sales, now to run a particular event management portal, you would obviously need some sales, you would obviously need some marketing. So for sales as well, you will have to keep a different section for opportunity management. You would have to keep a sales pipeline. You will have to keep a documentation management. You will have to keep some activity tracking, some assistant which will be enabled with this, an AI assistant which we can build with AI virtual agent, Power Virtual Agents. Now, in order to automate all these features internally, you will be using Power Automate. Now, let's say you have come across, or your friend has come across a particular client who wants to host their marriage function. So there will be a contract which will be generated. Now, this DocuSign is nothing but it's an application which helps you to e-sign your contract. Now, you can't go and physically sign all the contracts, right? This DocuSign will help you in e-signing it. That also you can automate through Power Automate. You can store everything into SharePoint. You can create multiple reports like sales management report, campaign reports, all these reports through Power BI. You can use customer management, purchasing history, all these things, dynamics through other sources like some integrations. Dual Write is basically an integrator. This Gmail calendar, both integrations also you can do. Let's say you want to trigger a particular email uh, with course of your email marketing that you can enable with your Gmail, and then that would be done. So this, in a nutshell, is your whole architecture end to end. All right. Now we'll just discuss some common use cases or solutions which are used for Power Apps. We have employee service onboarding portals. We have field service apps, as in some inventory tracking, maintenance logging. We have customer engagement apps, like I said, survey applications, feedback applications, service request managements. We have sales and CRM solutions. Now, all these use cases are predefined, and that is why you would have templates for this, which means these are model-driven applications. Understood? We have finance and HR process automations. So all these are common use cases of your Power Apps or Power Platform. Now, the licensing is very nominal. Initially, you will be given a license, a company license, which we will be providing you once you join the course, and it will be there for 4 months. Post that, you can always use the developer license, which is free of cost. When you are joining any organization, let's say, obviously, you are taking this course to join a particular company or start your own freelancing gig, right? So your investor or your client will be paying for your license. You don't have to worry about this at any point of time. So in a nutshell, I covered the whole intro, the Power Platform use cases, what is Power Apps, what are the types of Power Apps, what are Power Platform components, the business logic. I gave you an architecture in short, and the logic behind any of these applications. Now I will give you some more information on the software. So there are various kinds of Power Platform software, as in like I should actually say it's suite. So inside the suite, you have various applications. You have Power Apps, you have Power Automate, you have Power BI, you have Power Virtual Agents, you have Power Pages, and then you have SharePoint or Dataverse. So as I told you, Power Apps helps you to create apps, forms, survey, all these things. Power Automate helps you for automation, automation of campaigns, automation of emails, automation of
Messages,
messages. Exactly. Good. Power BI is used for
reports, dashboards.
data insights. Exactly. reports, dashboards, and analytics. Virtual agents is used for chatbot, like your customer support, AI assistant, all these. Power Pages is a new introduction to Power
Portals.
Platform. Yes, it is used for secured websites. Now, Microsoft is basically pushing this Power Pages with the word secured because they have worked too much on the website security. So once a particular page, if it's built with Microsoft, that by default enables the high level security uh, extracts of the Microsoft ecosystem. Dataverse is basically used to store the data of Power Platform. All right. So what you will be learning in this course, you will be learning all these things. You'll be learning Power Apps, you'll be learning Power Automate, you'll be given an introduction to Power BI and some basic dashboard making. We will be making one chatbot with the use of Power Virtual Agent. Now, Power Pages, if we get time, we might cover Power Pages. Dataverse, we will be covering, and SharePoint also, we will be covering. All right. So, we'll be covering all these things in due course of the 2 months. Now, you will also want to know what are the different type of job tracks, right? Like what all you need to learn in order to grab a particular job. There's Power Apps plus Automate jobs available in the market. There's Power Apps plus Automate plus SharePoint, SQL, Dataverse, job roles. There's Power Apps plus Automate plus Power BI job roles. This is the most demanding job role out there. If you have some knowledge of all the three, you are a full stack Power Platform, a consultant, or a developer. There's a different track for Power BI plus SQL or SharePoint as well. Like mostly data engineers go through this. And there's a Power Platform engineer who has the knowledge of all these Power Platform softwares or suites. Cool. So these are all your different tracks. There are different certifications as well. We will be helping you with that. So there is PL 900, there's PL 100, and few others, 300 as well. So all these certifications we will be helping you with. We will teach you all the basics, all the core concepts of clearing these certifications. Now, trust me, these certifications are valued a lot out in the industry. If you have any of these, one of these certifications, people will tap you and they will definitely, and you will be, considered out of the batch. Now, I would also explain what uh, is the course like. It will be a 2 months live session. It would be Monday to Thursday, and some doubt classes will be there on Saturday or Sunday, doubt clearing sessions. You will have access to all the recordings of these sessions, the notes, resume preparation, and everything for 1 year once you are joining this course. And you are also eligible for one repeat batch. Let's say, due to some or the other reason, you had to, uh, move out, or you were not able to attend all the sessions. The recordings will be provided to you, but still, if you had any such issues, one repeat batch will be allowed. All right. So these
Okay.
are, yeah, so these are all the pointers for the sessions, and I am open for Q&A right now.
Like if we learn this all like Power Apps completely, and yesterday I saw a Power Apps training with placement. So I have a
Yes.
career gap. So my pass note is 2016. So
Okay.
till now I didn't work anywhere.
That's completely fine. I will be teaching you all the concepts from end to end.
Okay.
We'll also be helping you with your resume preparation. We'll also, help you with some interviews, some mock interviews we will be taking internally. And for placements, you can definitely contact the founder. Uh,
Okay.
he can help you with, like how to bridge that career gap.
Okay.
It's
Got
not
it.
a very big deal nowadays. If you have the skill sets, people will take you no matter what. And if you need help with some certifications or some work that also will be provided to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
And like what is the course fees of this and timings?
So the timings are flexible right now. Once the batch starts, which is going to be by next week, ideally the timings would be from 8:30 to 9:30. Uh, Depends. Like it might start from 9 to 10, but you should keep a time of 8:30 to 10.
Okay. And course fees, right?
Course fee, I believe, the founder would be able to help you with.
Okay. At anyhow, they will call me and I will
Yes, yes.
talk with them.
Our team would reach back to you for sure.
Okay. Could you please share
Cool.
me this entire today what you explained to my mail ID,
Yes,
please?
yes. That would be shared right after the session. Please
Oh,
give us some time. I believe by today EOD or by tomorrow morning that will be shared to you.
okay. Thank you.
Yes. Next.